Hi everyone, I'm Caroline Stidlin. I'm a programs manager at Braid Theory. I started in January, and I've been kind of on this program for a little bit, and really happy to speak to all of you. Braid Theory is a vertically integrated venture advisory firm, and we support entrepreneurs in the blue economy space and its adjacencies. We're Braid Theory because we work with entrepreneurs and we see, you know, early stage entrepreneurs, industry people, investors, people in the like utility space, the ports, etc., as individual threads, and we want to braid them together. So we want to create these really impactful coalitions. And one of the ways that we've kind of newly done this, and it's worked out really, really well so far, is we ran 3 pre-accelerator and accelerator programs from like the pre-accelerators were 60 days, the accelerator was 90 days. 2 programs working on ocean and sustainable use of maritime resources, with one of the pre-accelerator programs in synthetic biology. So you'll see those 3, the Blue Plus being our accelerator, looking at ports, shipping, logistics, ocean observation, water and energy, and ocean sustainability. Celsius looking at environment and sustainability, materials, bioenergy, food supply, aquaculture. And then the LA Blue Pre-Accelerator being kind of a precursor for people that probably would go into Blue Plus when they're a little bit more advanced stage. So we've been around for a couple years and really so excited to have run these accelerator programs. They were oversubscribed. We got a lot of interest, and now we have about 12 companies that have come through the entire program. As I mentioned, they're 60 to 90-day programs with 6 months of follow-on support, where we offer them access to our co-working space down at Alta-Sea at the Port of LA, as well as our fully functional synthetic biology lab. And then, of course, access to all of the Alta-Sea facilities, as well as like water opportunities for like demonstrations, etc. Okay, let me go to the next. Our ecosystem is not just, blue tech and what people associate with oceans, but also looking at energy, water use, conservation, security, construction, coastal development and resilience, biotech, aquaculture, agriculture technology, logistics, transport, some green tech as well, but we really focus on kind of the blue side, as well as education and tourism. Our business model, we do programs like the Accelerator program, as well as some events and strategic consulting for all the companies that come through our ecosystem. And yeah, our approach is very strategic. We look at different startups and we evaluate them. So we're not an incubator in the traditional sense. We don't charge startups a fee for working with us. We're an accelerator, so we're selective. We choose a couple startups every cycle. This is our first, and we work with them pretty one-on-one to make sure that they can succeed. If they don't reach certain milestones, then they don't really make it through until the entire program, but we work with them to make sure that they reach those milestones together. So for our early stage programs, it's often, creating articles of incorporation and like legal services, all through making sure that their business model is solid and also sustainable. So we evaluate startups looking at their tech and machine readiness level. We assess the needs that they have, whether it's pilot projects in the region, whether it's working with the port or other utility organizations, whether it's looking at like non-dilutive sources of funding, grants, SBIR grants, etc. We look at like really evidence-based tech. So we do a lot of due diligence to make sure that it's new, the things that they're doing actually work and have an impact. We really focus on having expert advisors, so people who are both entrepreneurs and have that expertise, as well as in the blue economy space. So if they're looking at energy, we make sure we match them with advisors who are in that space and can give them, the most appropriate advice for their level. We take a share of their equity at the end, just as a way to, make it a business model that's sustainable and encourage them to actually work and get them, to hit those milestones, etc. And we really work towards commercialization and pilot projects because we find that those are going to be the ways to really empower those entrepreneurs to really scale in the future. And we started the program in around January, mid-January, and we've been working with them since then, they're now done with the program and we're in the period of follow-on support. And we had a demo day, sorry, my voice. We had a demo day last week at our Ignite 22 event. So Ignite 22 was really celebrating the people that are going to be creating the 22nd century. So a lot of people have been saying, oh, next year we'll see Ignite 23. Not exactly. It's still Ignite 22, looking at really that forward-thinking approach. This year was our 4th iteration, and we really work to connect entrepreneurs, industry leaders, investors, researchers, to get this ecosystem, as I mentioned on the first slide, that braid. We want to create these really strong coalitions so that when they're looking for future funding opportunities, when they're looking for pilot projects, et cetera, they have that network and that we can really get them to succeed. The who's who of this event last week, we had around 400 attendees with 60 entrepreneur exhibitors. Our accelerator cohort was also a part of that 60, so the 12 had either booths, or if they couldn't make it, because we do work to get companies from other areas of the US to come to the city of LA, especially with our wonderful port network. So they had their marketing materials at our stand, but we work with them to connect them with the industry adopters, so people from the ports, etc., science and research organizations, supporters and influencers in our ecosystem. We had people from Lacey there, for example. And then other investors and catalysts and people that can really help them. So as you can see, we had different universities, countries, and investor and incubation groups also represented there to really create this ecosystem. It's a pretty curated event in terms of we definitely have availability for the public to join, but we really want to make sure that the people there are relevant, interested in what the blue economy is, and come with an open mind and curiosity. We also, in addition to entrepreneur exhibitors, we had demonstration opportunities where we had people in our cohort also come and demo their tech during the day. In the evening, the people in our accelerator programs were invited to an invite-only pitch event where they could, in front of relevant investors, pitch their companies. And we were really happy to have at least 2 touch points for each company with our relevant investor network, which is pretty insane. I've been working around startups for a while, and really getting, that many startups matches with investors for future investment, and also interest in coming and, having their headquarters in LA is really, really cool. What we're offering is, after the accelerator program and after the 6 months of support, we're going to be hosting what we're calling a summer sprint. So it's a 4-week program for people that are at a tech readiness level of 6 to 8, meaning that they have some type of prototype demonstration, either in a almost similar operational environment or already in an operational environment. So they have tech that's ready to go. And the real focus is to find them a pilot opportunity, whether that's with terminal operators, transport companies, other utility companies, the port, our partners at Metropolitan Water District, et cetera, to really get those pilots and really get them to scale. We're going to be giving them small scale funding to deploy and test their tech, and also kind of fill in any type of gaps that they might have. A lot of accelerator programs and incubators work on different type of business model canvases, and we really want to make sure that their business models are solid, because you need to have all the parts fitting together before you can massively scale. The program that we're working with all of our accelerator cohort members, and a new cohort that we're going to bring in, is really to get them to develop these pilot projects, gain that insight, make those connections, and also prove themselves. We really like to have a customized approach and make sure that everyone can have the tools that they need to reach that level of success, especially in this really cool sector of the blue economy, which isn't just linked to water, it's everything around it as well. We're going to have them work with a team of advisors and instructors on reaching these milestones, and really accelerate that business development, with the end goal of full commercialization. So I think that's the end. I can talk a little bit more. There, you see me again. So we really want to have a springboard for companies to be connected to the market. We have a really unique market here and entrepreneurship ecosystem in LA with kind of the big diversity of the companies available, and the port, being 60% of all the goods coming into the US. So we really want to have this interconnectedness, whether that's with an in-person event like we had with Ignite 22 that had a huge scale of impact, for not just the people in our accelerator cohort, but also some other entrepreneurs in the ecosystem that are willing to come to the area and be tenants, in different city facilities. Uh, but yeah, it's really about this connection and getting the best opportunities available for people who are really capable and have that tech that we really want to bring to make this a really like thriving industry and also a very unique industry, within the US.